Hello, I'm Tracy Grimshaw. Welcome to A Current Affair. That report in a moment, plus how the battle between discount chemists and pharmacies will affect you at the checkout. First, the citizenship test that's left some Australians scratching their heads and asking whether we're too harsh on migrants who want to call our country home. So, how do you think you'd go? Well, if you'd like to grab a pen and a piece of paper, you can find out.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie!
Oi, oi, oi!
Their proud dinky die.
We love Australia!
And true blue to boot.
The weather, the beaches, the people, the country. Magic.
I love the freedom and I love the opportunities.
Everyone talks to you and everyone's friendly.
Each of them Aussie citizens for all or most of their lives.
People are happy and they're friendly. It's just a fabulous place.
This is my home. This is the best country.
But how would they fare if they had to sit for a citizenship test as new countrymen and women do today?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Mr. Halls.
So class is in.
You can call me Brady.
And you'll be surprised to know what happens when the results come in.
Welcome to the Australian Citizenship Test.
So today we are announcing changes to strengthen citizenship.
The government has been telling
You
us
need to have competent English. That is a vital requirement.
they want the current citizenship test to be tougher.
There's a significant change in relation to the English language requirement.
The opposition
A very large number of Australians will never reach the level of English that's being demanded by this test.
says no way.
And Labor will be opposing it.
There are 10 multiple choice questions and you have to circle either A, B or C. I'll guide you through them. Then after that, there are 3 comprehension tests. So you put your names,
Our classroom is a demographic melting pot of young and old, born here or overseas, but all are Australian citizens. And of those born elsewhere, there was no test long ago when they became citizens.
The questions that are in front of you are a randomly selected bunch of questions from citizenship tests that new Australians are facing today. But there is an extra element in them, and that is some comprehension tests, because the federal government is wanting to introduce some reading, some writing, some listening, some speaking tests. Okay, I'd love to say to you that there's no pass or fail. Well, there is. Just like the Australian Citizenship Test, you must get 75%. That is the pass mark, 75%. But under the Citizenship Test, you can resit it again should you fall below 75%. The federal government allows you to do that. We won't be doing that here today. So let's see how many people are true blue Aussies and know everything about this country. Okay, starting our multiple choice. What do we remember on Anzac Day? A, the landing of the Australian and New Zealand Army Corps at Gallipoli, Turkey. The arrival of the first fleet settlers from Great Britain. Or C, the landing of the first fleet at Sydney Cove. Question number 2. And let's see how you folks at home go with this test. Which official symbol of Australia identifies Commonwealth property? A, the national anthem. B, Australia's national flower. Or C, Commonwealth coat of arms. Question number 3. Which of these is an example of freedom of speech? People can peacefully protest against government decisions. That's A. Is it B? Men and women are treated equally in a court of law. Or is it C? Australians are free to not follow a religion. Question 4. Which of these statements about government in Australia is correct? A, the government does not allow some religions. B, the government in Australia is secular. Or is it C, religious laws are passed by Parliament? Question number 5. And how are you going at home? Which of these is a responsibility of Australian citizens aged 18 years and over? A, to do local community service. B, to carry a passport at all times? Or is it C, to serve on a jury if called on? Question number 6. Which of these is the role of the government? Question number 7. And what happened in Australia on January 1st, 1901? A. The Australian Constitution was changed by a referendum. The Australian Constitution came into effect. Or is it C, the Australian and New Zealand Army Corps was formed? Question number 8. Which of these statements about state governments is correct? All states have the same constitution. Each state has its own constitution. Or C, the states have no constitution. This is a question that is in the federal government test. Question 9. What is the name of the, finally, question 10. What is the name of a proposal to make a law in Parliament? Is it A, royal assent, B, a bill, or C, debate? You all look very confident. Excuse me. Is there Are you two cheating? Touche, Alma. I'm a disciplinarian. You remember this, don't you, Alma?
Me too.
You remember this?
No.
Oh, but you've got that cheeky look on your face.
I was a good girl.
Oh, so she says.
But I soon wiped the smile off all their faces.
Okay, section 2 is a comprehension test here. It's a 2-page document. It's a bike ride. You're participating in a cycling event. So you need to read this and see if you can comprehend what is being said and then answer the questions that follow.
Now, this is the section the federal government would like to introduce to test new citizens' skills in understanding written instructions and following procedure.
This test has been randomly selected by the federal government as a typical test that might be thrown into a possible citizenship test sometime down the track. Peter, easier than you thought or more difficult than you thought?
At this very moment, more difficult.
Already, the government's new additions...
How are you going, James?
Oh, I'm struggling. This is not easy.
...are proving difficult.
I was born here and I struggle with answering these questions. I can't imagine people coming here and not knowing anything about Australia trying to answer these questions. They're so hard.
Let's start section 3. What you'll see there is a product recall notice, something that might be found in newspapers when a product goes wrong. An important thing to understand, an important thing to read, an important thing to comprehend. You'll notice 4 questions after that product recall notice. Please answer those questions now. All right, folks, section 4 is our last section today. It is 4 paragraphs on the behaviour of bumblebees. Front row, we all done?
Yes.
All right, folks, what did you think?
Shocking.
Shocking. Really, that bad?
It's got nothing. What does that test have to do with the Australian, our values? It tests our ability to read and comprehend. That's it. What if you're dyslexic?
Mum and Dad, would they have any troubles with that?
Oh, yeah, they'll be struggling. Even if they do it 20 times, they'll still struggle.
Peter, what did you think?
Well, I can't say what I exactly think because it would be unprintable.
Now, Taylor here completed her HSC last year and thought...
And the Comprehension Test was basically the equivalent of the Advanced English exam that we were sitting as well. So it's much the same difficulty, and the clauses in the paragraphs are really convoluted as well. So unless you really know how to extrapolate information from that, it's going to be really, really difficult for you.
How do you think you went?
It's difficult. I don't want to know.
How'd you do in the HSC?
Better than I think I would have done in the Citizenship Test.
All your papers down, thank you very much.
But there were those who thought it was a balanced assessment of English ability.
I think I was all right.
Yeah, okay. Laurie, did you find that the multiple choice?
No, I found the whole thing okay, but I think as far as comprehension is concerned, for the citizen test, I think it should be a little easier.
The results are in. It was tough. It was tough. But a lot of you did remarkably well. In fact, Taylor, perfect score. Margot, keep clapping for yourself. You did just one under a perfect score. So well done to you. Yeah, Katrina, Alan, Laurie, Lorraine, well done. Up very high scores. All up, 9 people passed. 4 people failed to reach the 75%, which is very tough. They'll be deported this afternoon at 5 o'clock. Taylor, Margot.
Thank you, Mr. Hall.
Well done, you're staying. Looking at your results there, folks, are you surprised?
I was surprised, really surprised.
Doing that HSC helped, didn't it?
I guess it did.
I think if you read them carefully, that there weren't, too many difficult ones.
Laurie, what were your thoughts on that test?
I think the multiple choice question is paramount to becoming an Australian citizen because, like you said, it dictates or it shows how the country works. And I think that's something that we experience day in, day out. I mean, I personally have a wife whose family were migrants and they worked very hard too, but they were able to manage to know this sort of stuff to become Australian citizens. So, I mean, if the desire's really there, it'll just get done.
Well, do you all still feel the same way that you did when you came in? Do you feel true blue and dinky die?
More Australian.
We need to know that, whoever you are. If you want to live here, you should know that sort of stuff.
For me, I just think, even though I did very well, I think, but I'm young and I've gone to school here, whereas someone who's coming from another country hasn't done the schooling here, and I just think it's a bit too complex for them. That's my personal opinion.
If you want to live here, put the effort in.
Our panel is as bitterly divided as our politicians.
Well done, folks. Thank you very much. Thank you. No more questions. Thank you.
But as is the Aussie way, the smiles and laughs soon return.
Thanks. Nice to meet you too, Luca. Thank you very much. Thanks, darling. Thanks, Alan. Good to meet you, mate. Good afternoon. Thanks, mate. Bye.
They've moved on from any bitterness.
Anyway, it's lovely to see you on
You
television.
too, darling. Thank you.
It's just our culture.
Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi.
Good on them, and we have put that test on our website if you would like to give it a go.